Right. Um, okay, something I wanted to get back to. Not everybody's as talented a photographer as you are, I assume.
Yeah, I'd like to
Um,
believe so. I'd like to believe the 25 years paid off a little bit, but yeah.
yeah. So what do you do if you're just an average person out there and you or a staff member is just trying to post regular, like, what do you do? You're not that good at taking photos. Like, what, what's step one?
There are a few things I think that are just with it, like the very first and most important thing, and I'm saying this somewhat ironically right now, given how my face is blown out, but um, a sunny day, natural light, not direct sunlight, not direct sunlight, but the cast of a light of the sun through the bar lit up with the sun in it in the background, and the food getting that sort of golden glow on top of it. Bright, clear, sunny photography is the best. And I don't, like I said, not in direct sunlight. That is like this, which is dark and light, and it's too blown out to see details. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, Good news, bad news. It's a sunny day today. We have a lot of windows. There's nowhere for me to hide in here. So that's
Right.
why I'm all blown out here. But the best pictures on our website and in our social media are taken on sunny, beautiful days like today. All right. So the very first thing would be the quality of the lighting and the color of the lighting. An incandescent bulb is a totally different color temperature, and it will absolutely affect the colors of the food. Okay.
Hmm.
So I've seen pictures where that's a beautiful pizza, but it's all one color. I
Right.
can't tell what those ingredients are. I
Hmm.
want to see a pepperoni, and I want to see the cheese, and I want to see some sauce, and I want to see the crust. I don't want a yellow blob that you tell me is a pizza. Okay. And our phones today, my phone in particular, it's a Pixel, is like after I take the photo, it's like, let me help you with that. It
Yeah. You want
instantly
me to
does
take care
something
of
to
this?
sort of, yeah, right. Sometimes for the better and sometimes for the worse. I'm also a fan of, depth of field. I like to show the front half of something being very bright and clear and like I don't want to see the back of the bar, the TV, the baseball game. I want to
Okay.
know it's a TV and there's
Yep.
some sports on it and there's some blobby people back there, but if it's too sharp in the background, you might focus on something other than what I'm trying to show you.
Hmm.
iPhones in particular, I find do this too strongly. They make that selective focus too narrow for my
Okay.
tastes. I
Got
think
it.
there's a right amount, if that makes sense. iPhones are like, look, something's blurry. Isn't this cool? And it's like,
Isn't this
yeah, no,
professional?
not really.
Look.
Right. Yeah, look, I'm a professional now. Um, Almost every dish that I take, I do it in a certain part of the bar because it's got good lighting, but it's not direct sunlight. It also
Okay.
has the background of the bar in it. And I'll be honest, I have followed the examples of other social media channels that I found really appealing. You know,
Would you mind sharing?
imitation,
Would you mind
Old
sharing
Irving
any of
Brewery
those?
down the street. Yeah, Old Irving Brewery down the street does an
Okay.
amazing job of showing the food because I think they have a weekly burger. I mean, it's a lot. They also obviously make beer, right? So they have the double-edged sword of trying to promote their beer, but also their food selection. And their space is really beautiful too. So I know where they're taking that picture. I can see it in my mind's eye. They have a giant window that's like a garage door that opens up. And once it's open,
Hmm.
it's the reflective light behind them. So the food is beautiful. And you can see the entirety of the space in the background, but it's out of focus. But when you see that picture, the food looks damn good and the space looks appealing too, and it's got a lot of room for me. That place, I can go there. There's going to be a seat, you know. That's actually not true because they're always packed. But the impression you get when you look at the photography is, God damn, that looks good. Everything
You
about it looks
understand it.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when they gave me a kudos on one of my pictures, total like ego boost, honestly. Um, I'm not gonna lie, but find something that you find appealing and do that, right? All the
Yeah.
pictures I take are in the same place. They have the background of the bar in them generally, unless it's like, you know, there are certain foods that you have to look down on them because looking across, there's nothing to see, right? But whenever possible, I want to look into it, and I will take the plate of food and I tilt it up on
Mm,
something artificially, so it's
right.
facing the camera a little more, but the background is the correct perspective, if that makes
How
sense.
much do you tip
So,
it? How much do you like
well, I
inch?
actually we have
Half an
we,
inch?
I would say about this much, right?
Okay.
Just a little, so that way there's fries in front of the burger, right?
Yep.
They're going to be sort of bleeding out of frame. The burger or whatever is going to be front and center, and around it is, one of my favorite pictures I ever took here, probably 3 months ago, was a bucket of beer, and it had a variety of the beers that we put in buckets, right? And it was like the lighting was gorgeous, the labels were all totally sharp, but in the background you could see the bar, you could see the handles, you could see the TVs. It just said bar. Bar,
Mm-hmm.
bar, bar, beer, 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 right? I love that picture. If I could make all of our food and stuff look like that, I'd be
Yeah.
thrilled.
What, so you take all the pictures in the same place in the bar.
Well, I move
Do
around a little
you?
bit. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, this bar behind me is a giant U. So
Yep.
I have the advantage of wherever I'm standing, there's a bar behind me,
Yeah.
you
That's
know?
good.
Yeah. So,
That's nice.
I do vary it up a little bit, but I shouldn't say the same place, but the same framing. I want the
Okay.
food up front, the background of the bar, possibly with some people just to show that this place is, it's full, it's people are here. It looks welcoming. I don't love an empty bar shot. The lone example of that for us is the front page of the website where for the longest time people didn't know what the interior looked like. So I've
Mm,
changed the Facebook header and the front page of the website to be like, that's a damn good looking bar, you know.
mm-hmm.
I also wonder at times, like, we take pictures of this place when it's full for fights or whatever.
Right.
I don't want someone to come back at me later and say, what the hell am I doing on social? I didn't say you could do that.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little like, I like blurry people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I like people facing the other way.
Yeah. That
Those are
works
my
out great.
favorite. Right. So
Do you build up like a library of photos? Like, do you say, okay, I'm going to take a bunch of pictures today? Okay.
once again, I do. When it's all about the weather. If it's a sunny
Yeah.
day, I'll email the chef and say, hey, it's a great day, beautiful day. I would love to get a shot of X, Y, and Z. And
Mm-hmm.
depending on what his schedule is like, whether or not he's busy, maybe there's a party coming up and it's not going to work out. But if it's a cloudy day, I'm not talking to him. I need the lighting. That's all I care about. And then the second thing is what can he do in between his actual job? So
Right.
um, I've over the last 3 months, I've amassed a very large library, and once again, it's in our Google Drive and it's available
Yeah.
to everybody. So, and it will never stop growing. I will just continually, you want a shot of the burger? It's in there. You want a shot of the turkey sandwich? It's in there. Okay.
Yeah.
And oh, the other thing to photography, not one picture, not 10 pictures, 30 pictures. Move around,
Okay.
move the camera. You don't know later if you'll be like, oh, damn, I wish I had. Well, I don't have to worry about that because they're minimum 30 pictures, whether it's down low, up high, a little farther away, crop, I think about, oh, I'm going to want to crop this, so I need more room around it. If you go in too
Right.
tight, you can't make it bigger. I want more background. I want less background. Oh, crap, there was something somebody walked by. Like it's digital. There's no space restrictions
Mm-hmm.
anymore. Just take a lot of pictures,
Yeah.
bracket, move things. Maybe later you'll realize there was a French fry in the way that you didn't like. So take a bunch, adjust it, move it, take some more, and do that like 5 or 6 times. You cannot do enough.
That's super helpful because I know that people are just like, oh, I got to get this out. Boom. Okay. Post it.
Yeah.
Go.
I
I'm
mean,
done.
it's possible. That is possible. And if it was really like, if there was some moment I wanted to capture, yeah, there might be the one shot. That's fine. But if the food is just sitting there, why not,
Mm-hmm.
do do a little more?
Would you say it's okay to reuse a photo? Like I posted on
That's a good
Instagram
one.
with this last or like
Yeah.
a while ago. Can I do it again?
The while ago, yeah. I
Yeah.
do it as rarely as possible. I like having new content and not repeating it. the messages are repeated, like we have trivia and half price pizzas on Monday, and my job is to find out how to tell you that without telling you exactly the same way I did it last time and make it seem different. So generally what I do is I'll order another pizza, a different flavor. So there's a
Hmm.
pepperoni one out there. There's a sausage one. There's one of our chicken, and we just did a pizza of the month. Like I think it's pretty important to make it fresh as much as
Yeah.
possible. Um,
Caveat, I imagine, would be that repeating with the same content is better than not saying anything,
totally
right?
agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Because just because I posted that thing and I'm conscious of the fact that it was 3 months ago or 2 weeks ago or whatever, doesn't mean the person who's scrolling by it today
They,
saw the last one.
I think
It might
it's
not be repeated for
very,
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
very
So,
unlikely that they
yeah,
would.
I would love to believe that I have a huge fan base of all my, Instagram pictures. I don't think that's probably true, but